Okay, let's go. This is a video for multiple earphones, but we're going to focus mainly on the $1,300 one, which if you comment below this video and are a subscriber, you might score this because it's being offered at 50% off to Patreons, but if nobody bids on it, which is quite possible, I'm surely not going to help it with the video I'm about to do. This will be given away to somebody that comments below this video as a subscriber that I can see the little flare in the YouTube studio. And all you did was comment and give the video a thumbs up, I hope. And this could be sent to you anywhere in the world, as well as the Twistora and the K9. And the KB02 is too cheap. The shipping to you costs more than this KB02, but I will mention all of these sets in this video. The Moritz Enzo, I'm going to say right off the bat that I would advise that you probably not purchase this set. Now, I'll be very quick with it. It's using custom drivers, which is essentially Belzing or an offshoot of that company. And when they advertise it, they're saying custom drivers. I know in doing, I think, 15 to 19 collabs, how the system works, and using custom drivers for budget sets for $150, $200, up to maybe $300, I can kind of see it. And sometimes based on the accessories and the quality of the build and the cable and the interchangeable terminations, it could turn out to be pretty reasonable. But when we start to get into the $1,000 and above, or really over $300, you're starting to expand the profit margin is really what it is, unless there's some special stuff going on. With the Enzo, there isn't. It comes with a fabric cable. The 4.4 that this came with is permanent, so that you can't like switch to a 3.5 or some other termination. You're stuck with what you get. The cable is slightly microphonic. There is no other really special thing that comes with it that would make you think that it's worth the price. The shell looks nice. The tuning is very much a hit or miss type of thing, where it's got either a very tucked and thin and very sharp replay because of the 6, 7, 8, 9. And I definitely wouldn't listen to that. And to switch it to DD, which is down on the dip switches, it gives a more acceptable replay, but I still really wouldn't buy this. And then there's the whole, these drivers are non-specific. They're likely Belzing or an offshoot company of that, which means that they're much more affordable to manufacture than to purchase in bulk from Knowles or Sony, and so that means that their margin is wider. I don't think that these type of drivers belong in this price bracket. I believe that when we get above $600, $700, $800, or even in that zone, we're talking about performance. And in all hobbies that have higher or lower tiers of performance, that's usually based on the internals, whether it's graphic, GPUs, CPUs, or really whatever is powering what we're talking about. With earphones, it's the drivers that are inside. $1,300 for a brand that you're not familiar with and drivers that they're not being clear about, I would say wipe this from your memory. And if someone says, I'll give it to you or sell it to you for a few $100s, grab it, set it at DD maybe, unless you really have hearing loss, and maybe be happy with your purchase. I don't think $1,300 is something that you should spend on something like this. And I don't really like companies just appearing and then going right for the big money. I can understand if they come in at more competitive and start with some transparency about what they're doing inside, and then maybe if a branch of that group wants to go out with them into the Summit Fi area where you start to play Trust Us, bro, then that's up to the consumer. But to come right into the hobby like that, likely another company that's making an offshoot company that you don't know, like Soft Ears and Moondrop are kind of connected, and who Moritz Enzo is connected to, I'm not sure. I have a couple guesses, but without knowing for sure, I'll just pass on that because that's bad tea, and I'm not sure. But again, the presentation, overall, it doesn't really equal something that's beyond a $500 set in its best case scenario. And non-specific drivers actually takes it out of the best case. So I'd say move off the Moritz. Let's next get to the Twistora Woodnote, which is a $170 set that is actually pretty decently tuned. If I look over to my left, I can see it in the green that's hard for you to see, which I don't know why it's even up there. It's a kind of, it reminds me of the Illumination by Moondrop, and it's got a not elevated sub bass, it's not rolling off, and it's got a slightly forward mid bass, and it's got a kind of a Moondrop-ish upper mids to the 8 kilohertz. It just looks familiar, and it doesn't sound bad. It's becoming less common with Meta and other types of tuning like super sub bass dominant. So I actually find the Twistora to be a pleasant listen. It's $179. It's got a woodish dome, which is like the cap that goes over the diaphragm, the center of the speaker, if that's how you want to view it. Its build quality is excellent. the build quality of the $179 is better than the $1,300. The cable on the $179 has a switchable termination, which is 4.4, and also I can go 3.5. So I can switch. It's actually a nicer cable, and I can switch the terminations. This is $179. This is $1,400. That's wild. Dynamic drivers, it's much harder to tell who's manufacturing it, but that would be something for another video. Do I think the Twistura is worth $179? I enjoy its replay. I don't feel like the price is out of line, and the build quality, the cabled switchable terminations at $179 makes me feel like it's a legit option that you should take a closer look at. There's certainly nothing jumping out, like the graph isn't great, so trust me, bro, it sounds different from the graph. I don't have to say that. The graph looks really decent. The sound that I get back doesn't sound radically different from the graph. It sounds like it's got low end, but not too much of it. It's got some treble, not too much of it. It's got late energy, but it's not screaming in my ear. It's also not dark. It's a fairly well-tuned set. So I would you proceed in looking further into it and evaluating on my library with hip-hop, classic rock and roll in general. So classical music, it does fine. So I would put that in. It competes with its peers. The next set would be the EPZ K9, which is another set like the Enzo, but a little bit different. The EPZ I became a fan of with the 530, which is a set that was made of stabilized wood, a really nice goldish looking cable, a presentation box, and I can't recall I think it was like $580, something like that. I thought that was a really good set. I think it was all Sony drivers inside as well. And then they came out with a P50, which I think it was custom drivers, but it's in a price range that seems like where that belongs. This is a 1DD 8-balance armature that is 8 BAs that are non-specific, which means they're likely Belsing, because why would you not say that in this price range? And it's $280 from a company that I became a fan of because it was using all Sonians and it looked beautiful, which was the green or gold EPZ 530. This has more mid-bass than the Twistura. It's got also more energy in the upper mids. It's not a set that I would personally buy. And again, because it's $280, which is $100 more than the Twistura. And also its tuning is less appealing than the Twistura. I wouldn't wreck the K9, but again, if you comment below this video, it's going to get sent to somebody, and it's $280, and it's brand new in box, essentially, because I don't take pictures, listen to it, and give my opinion, then send it off to people. So not my thing. I wouldn't wreck it, but watch other people's reviews and maybe you get a different take on that. Consider the library that's being talked about. The last one is the KB02, which is a $40 set and is very much like the Cadenza, which I'm a fan of. The problem, like I said with the Etude by Kiwi Ears, is that while it doesn't really skew vocals, it makes a little bit of emphasis on bass guitars and low energy rhythm section type instruments that seem to last a little longer because of that tactile sensation, and it will be distracting and seem like the vocals are degraded because perception is reality. It's not really what's going on, but when the bass guitar or the drums or something in the low end sounds like it's living split seconds longer than your brain and ears are used to, it's your perception of the vocals is going to be different. You're not going to hear it as cleanly because your focus is being stolen, essentially. Steal focus, I guess, is the best way to put it. So if you're a fan of cadenza and you like that, I would say stick with the cadenza. If you want to try out the vibe thing and you have a low frequency centric, like a trip hop, EDM, hip hop centric library, and vocals aren't really that important, then I would say that the KB02 would maybe be something you'd be interested. Personally, I would prefer to just go with the also beryllium cadenza, which I've been wrecking for like 2.5 years. But again, if you move from set to set and you want to try different stuff in that price range, there's nothing that disqualifies it. It's simply not a vocal. You're not going to listen to really any of the bone conduction driver sets that got this kind of a... You can literally hear the bouncing of the spring inside the shell. That's really not going to be a set that you're going to go for pristine audiophile, if faithful reproduction, which means what you've heard on car, home, and audio through your whole life. Forget what artists intended because we don't know that. I guess give it a try. So KB02, $40. Not my thing. I take cadenza, but I can see why some people really like it. The EPZ K9, I wouldn't buy the set. I don't know why they made this set, actually. At $280, it doesn't... I won't say any more because I don't want to sound like I'm kicking the company. The Twister Wood Note, 179, nice cable, switchable termination, very high quality build. Sure, listen more. Dig further, check out other reviews. Plays back my library well. The Enzo Moritz, no, $1,300 with what are clone drivers, and I have the right to say that because you're not saying anything else. So in the void, the vacuum, I can say these are clone drivers. These are basically a company that was built from cloning another company, and you're not really giving anything extra. There's not even extra termination switches that you can use. Like I can go 4.4 to 3.5, or I can do something else. It's very Spartan in what it includes, and also it doesn't include what kind of drivers are inside. So I wouldn't recommend that. But again, if you comment below and you subscribe to this channel, all three of these sets. The Enzo, if you're a Patreon, you could get that for 50% right now. If it doesn't get taken, I will do like I do with other sets and then come back and give it away to the community. I think I did that with the Mystique 8 from Let's Shirt, and tried to do Patreons, and then no one took it and gave it away. So that might happen with that. So comment below. Give the video a thumbs up if you're a subscriber. Twister and the K9 will also go to people below this video. When I do videos that have multiple IMs in them, they're all going to go out to people that comment in that section, because it becomes an overwhelming thing to send that much stuff out, and also paying for it, and it's the time more than the money. So put 3 together at one time and pick 3 winners from the same comment section. Easy for me, easy for you. That's it, and I'm out.